It's the start of a brand new week full of opportunities, and I promise to take full advantage of it. Welcome to JoyNews Interactive with me, Na Ajele Doku, here on the JoyNews channel on your digital TV. We're also live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. Join the conversation on our social media handles at JoyNews on TV. Our WhatsApp line is 0540 10099009. I'll take that 0540 100999. Well, let's go. It's going to be a wonderful week. President Akufo-Addo, for the second time in less than a week, addressed the nation on steps being taken by the government to stem the tide. In a televised address on Sunday, he, among several recommendations, banned all religious meetings and restricted funeral gatherings to 25.
Called that on Wednesday, 12th March 2020. When I first spoke to you directly on this matter, I announced the first raft of enhanced measures taken in response to the pandemic. At the time, there had been no reported confirmed case of the coronavirus in Ghana. Since then, 6 confirmed cases have been announced, all of persons who recently traveled into the country. Advisories on how to manage the developments have also been announced by the Ministries of Health and Information. Public education is being intensified to ensure that citizens are well advised on preventive measures. Earlier today, Sunday, the 15th of March, 2020, I chaired a meeting of the Interministerial Committee on Coronavirus Response. After deliberations, I've decided, in the interest of public safety and the protection of our population, to review the public gathering advisories earlier announced as follows. Firstly, all public gatherings, including conferences, workshops, funerals, festivals, political rallies, sporting events, and religious events such as services in churches and mosques, have been suspended for the next 4 weeks. Private burials are permitted, but with limited numbers, not exceeding 25 in attendance. Secondly, all universities, senior high schools, and basic schools, i.e. public and private schools, will be closed Monday, 16th of March, 2020, till further notice. The Ministry of Education, in collaboration with the Ministry of Communication, has been tasked to roll out distance learning programs. However, BECE and WASI candidates will be allowed to attend school to prepare for their examinations, but with the prescribed social distancing protocols. Thirdly, the government of Ghana's travel advisory, issued earlier today, should be observed as announced. Fourthly, businesses and other workplaces can continue to operate, but should observe prescribed social distancing between patrons and staff. Fifthly, establishments such as supermarkets, shopping malls, restaurants, nightclubs, hotels and drinking spots should observe enhanced hygiene procedures by providing, amongst others, hand sanitizers, running water and soap for washing of hands. Sixthly, the Ministry of Transport should work with the transport unions and private and public transport operators to ensure enhanced hygienic conditions in all vehicles and terminals by providing, amongst others, hand sanitizers, running water, and soap for washing of hands. And seventhly, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development should coordinate with the metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies measures to enhance conditions of hygiene in markets across the country. Additionally, as the experts conduct contact tracing, I appeal to all to cooperate with them to ensure that persons who have come into contact with positive cases are identified and supported. I've directed the Attorney General to submit immediately to Parliament emergency legislation in accordance with Article 21(4)(c) and (d) of the Constitution of the Republic to embody these measures. And I've further directed the Minister for Health to exercise his powers under Section 169 of the Public Health Act 2012, Act 851, by the immediate issuance of an executive instrument to govern the relevant profession.
And that was the President Dankwa Akufo-Addo updating the nation last night at 10 p.m. And you have been reacting to this on social media. Let's read some of your comments now. Cyril says, I'm disappointed with these measures. MOH, that's Ministry of Health, is panicking. Distribute free hand sanitizers, one junction, one test kit, one constituency, one isolation center, one house, one free thermometer. Advise populace to clean their phones with sanitizers and close down all borders. Let's see inclusive. Kwabna says, for a ban to be placed on social functions like funerals, church services, weddings, and school activities to this extent tells me this coronavirus is nothing to joke about. In fact, we as Ghanaians should not joke with this at all. We need to pray to God and act safe as well. Those are your comments coming on Facebook concerning the president's update. Yes, last night. Yeboah says, coronavirus, artificial blessings or natural curse. Every country is closing their borders and cancelling flights. Now, it's not civilian war. This draws our attention that we have one Ghana and we need to develop our own and stop that dirty everything politics. If you have fraud the country, no amount can save you when you tested positive. God bless Mother Ghana. Nana Kofi says, banning flights and closing borders from affected countries of COVID-19 doesn't mean citizens from those places can't use other airlines and pass into our dear nation. What we should be much more concerned about is personal hygiene, notwithstanding the fact that we should ensure fully screened on those arriving for early detection. And Samuel Danso says, so ministries of health can't share hand sanitizers to all schools in Ghana with this $100 million. Hey, are we serious? And that corrupt man too has the gas to close down schools. God is watching. And the pharmaceutical companies too have increased sanitizers. Wow. Like really? Okay, I don't blame them. We are leading by fee. Okay, so no wonder. And what happened to So happening now, we're going to take you to former President John Mahama, who is holding a Facebook Live session on the COVID-19 disease as he addresses his fans.
I call on the government to publish a comprehensive plan on how it intends to deal with this emergency around the country. Furthermore, I give my word to the people of Ghana that as the minority and the voice of the voiceless, we will hold the government to account on these issues. We will be supportive of the measures and actions being taken by government, while remaining vigilant in ensuring that the public is adequately protected. This is not a time for words. It is a time for action. What the government did not address is the wide-reaching economic impact of the pandemic. We've seen governments around the world make bold moves to protect their economies, and we should expect the government of Ghana to respond rapidly to this challenge. I therefore call on government to publish its plans to protect the economy, including the possibility of a statement to Parliament on the expected impact on our economy of the disruptions of COVID-19 on global supply chains and international travel. A comprehensive budget review to Parliament may be necessary subsequently. The virus is not only an Accra or Tema problem, as we have noticed. One of the cases was found in Obuasi. Government must therefore immediately ensure the provision of isolation centers in all regions of the country. An identified case kilometers from Accra must not be transported to Accra for isolation and/or treatment. The availability of regional isolation centers, together with adequate testing kits and more than enough PPEs, protective equipment, will be an encouragement to our medical personnel currently sacrificing a lot to support the ongoing efforts. We must also provide adequate assurance to our frontline health workers of their protection. An insurance package for health workers who may become severely infected in the line of duty will be a good start. During the Ebola crisis, I had the experience in working with our partners in ECOWAS and the UN in addressing the threat. ECOWAS must now put in place common enforceable protocols to deal with the coronavirus across the sub-region and related issues. ECOWAS Health and other relevant ministers and their advisors must hold a teleconference as a matter of urgency to review sub-regional actions that are being put in place to protect us. I commend to the government the lessons of our years ago. Misinformation and mistrust are our enemies in this fight. A pandemic of fear can only be prevented if the relevant authorities prove themselves to be transparent and trustworthy by the Ministry of Health must also take steps to safeguard the public against false information and fake cures on social media and elsewhere. Our former appointees of my administration who assisted in our readiness efforts during the Ebola epidemic to assist the government in any way they can, if requested to do so. This virus is an enemy to all Ghanaians, and the call to be in the fight against it rises above partisanship and politics. To our frontline healthcare workers, a grateful nation salutes your efforts, your dedication, and your resolve. Your country, Ghana, is behind you, and we're relying on your courage and bravery and competence to see us through this difficult time. We ask for God's protection for you in this hour of crisis, and we'll continue to pray for your success in our mosques and our churches and in our homes. Now is the time for all of us to take care of ourselves and of each other. And let us remember that the measure of our nation's greatness is in moments of crisis such as this, how we rise to the challenge. I call on each of us to take care of ourselves and of each other. And remember that the measure of our nation's greatness is during times of crisis. We will ultimately survive. Please remember the Ghana Health Service guidelines and the emergency numbers always. You must make contact immediately you observe anything disturbing or anything. I commit you all to the goodness and grace of God and remain hopeful and eliminating this virus from our motherland. I thank you. May God bless us all.
And that was live from President Mahama, ex-President John Mahama, holding his Facebook Live session addressing the nation on the issues dealing with the COVID-19. Earlier on, Information Minister Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah has said that government reviewed its travel advisory in the wake of the coronavirus scare, shutting its borders to travelers from countries with more than 200 cases of the coronavirus. Mr. Oppong-Nkrumah urged airlines to stop affected travelers from boarding flights, while citizens and resident permit holders will be required to self-isolate for 14 days on arrival. This also generated a lot of reactions on Facebook. Let's read some of your comments from Facebook. It says, "Why are you always late in doing the right thing? No brain to know that there's time for everything." And that's coming from Solomon. Kofi Kinsley says, "All those saying we should close our borders, please though. How many products do we produce in our country that can keep us if we should even close our borders for a month?" Common sanitizers have shot up because we don't produce it. Close our borders and a bag of rice will jump to 150 Ghana cedis, from 150 Ghana cedis to 500 Ghana cedis or more within just 1 month. And Captain says, just ban travel to and fro Ghana completely. Stephen Odum says, please, what are we doing to stop internal spread? This is from the Black City. Says, so Ghana get residence ID. Georgia says, okay. Wisdom says, long overdue. Afrikaner says, better. Aseye says, must a person show signs before you quarantine them? So if the person doesn't show signs, but it's a career which you can't tell with your physical eyes, you will let them go. The main reason why we are where we are today. Sheet says, I knew this was going to happen. Why should we allow things to get to this stage before we take necessary actions? Such preventive measures should have been put in place long before now. We knew how it was spreading throughout the world, but yet we did nothing. We allowed people into our country and now we're caught up. Early intervention should have been put in place to prevent the disease from coming into at all costs. Our leaders are to be blamed for this mess. Those are comments coming on the travel ban. And those were your comments on Facebook about the travel ban. Now let's move on to our next story. And the University of Cape Coast students jubilated when the president directed that schools be closed. And we've all been students before, and trust me, we've all done this. But you guys have been reacting to this on Facebook, and let's read some of your comments. Ikia Pokia says all students should have been asked to stay on campus but not attend any activity for them to be quarantined, since it's scarier to go home because you will meet a whole lot of people and your health will be at risk. Those are your messages coming on Facebook concerning the jubilation of the UCC students after the president's directive. Stanley says, in fact, the GPL students should be scrapped for them to start afresh. And I agree with that one. Someone says, so ministries of health can't share hand sanitizers to all schools in Ghana with all this $100 million. Hey, are we serious? And the court? Okay, now let's go move to that one. We've read this before. Patience Nako says, schools close everyone and Ghana is the country only jubilating. It's a shame. Well, Tofik says, I think people are being hypocritical. We got tired of class sometimes when we were students. Or should we request for their GPAs? It will surprise you to know that over 60% of them are more serious than you and I. They're just being fun seekers. This is normal unless maybe you didn't pass through the public educational system. Small morale way them will use to clear all the babahewa to you bore, as if you would send a petition to the government to rescind a decision if you were a student. Well, I do agree with Tafik because we've all been students before, and sometimes, yeah, we get tired of going to class. And Shafiq says, a make or break decision has been made by the president. I only hope he was advised properly this time. One, the decision of the president should be very useful in controlling the spread of the COVID-19 in the country. But two, this same decision could spread the COVID-19 astronomically within the shortest possible time. There will be a lot of movement across the country from tomorrow, especially by students. Yes, we may be running from COVID-19, but let's not forget we also may be running with it to our various homes. This is the time we need DHS most. Every single decision on this COVID-19 should be based on WHO standards and best practices. May Allah guide and protect us all. Amen to that one. Alexander Pia says, very good decision. Please, here in Berlin, Germany, the same thing. All schools have been closed down this 20th of April. I'm doing my master's in all our current exams, and those that will fall in April have been cancelled until further notice. Kaiwo says, students will always be students. They'll grow to know that, well, we've also fooled some before. Kwame Blair says, we Ghanaians want to play with everything. This is not funny. If we don't find solutions to this, it will collapse world economies. Even the big countries with advanced infrastructure are on lockdown. Good luck, Isaiah says, I know that mathematics level 400 students will be very happy because of a particular course. They know what I'm talking about. Moses says, closing down schools, I don't support. There should be better measures to put in place. Then I hope these students wouldn't come home. They should be treated like our 400 students left stranded in Wuhan. Sylvester says, education is supposed to be interesting more so at the tertiary level, but here we are jubilating for schools to be shut down. There's something wrong with our educational sector. Shaking my head. Away from that now, let's educate each other on what we should do.
Ago, good people of Ghana. Here are some safety measures on prevention of coronavirus. 1. Cover your mouth with tissue when you cough or sneeze. Dispose of tissue into a bin immediately you cough into it, and wash your hands with soap and running water. Avoid shaking hands and use sanitizers as often as you can. Signs and symptoms of coronavirus include fever, cough, sneezing, and difficulty in breathing. Should you experience any of these, or for more inquiries, please contact 0558 439 868. That's 0558 439 868. Or call 0509 497 700. That's 0509 497 700.
Remember to always wash your hands with soap and running water.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, the Ghana Health Service, and partners.
I hope we adhere to this because this is very important. But now let's do some Monday motivation, to shake us up and put us in the right frame of mind. And this one says, Monday motivation, pursue your goals and dreams with the same intensity you fight to get attention. And I think that's a good one. We ladies sometimes fight a lot to get males' attention. But yes, let's pursue our dreams and goals with that same level. Hashtag Monday motivation. I know it's going to be hard, but it's not impossible. Yes, it's a trying time we're going through. It's not going to be easy, but it's possible that we will get through it as a nation and together. By swallowing evil words unsaid, no one has ever harmed his stomach. That's coming from Winston Churchill. Hashtag Monday motivation. So instead of saying cruel things or mean things to someone, if you swallow it, trust me, you're never going to harm yourself. But you're going to save your relationships. And that's all we have for you today on Joy News Interactive. For more information, just log on to myjoylight.com for more updates. Also, for ways to go about how to educate yourself to keeping yourself clean. Now remember, there's no need to wear a face mask unless you are sick or you're taking care of somebody who's also infected. But be wise. Wash your hands under running water for at least 20 seconds and take care of yourselves. Use hand sanitizers. My name is Najili Doku. Have a spectacular day.